Dear students, today we will discuss agriculture finance, its nature, scope, significance, micro and macro finance. What does agriculture finance means? Agriculture finance generally means studying, examining and analyzing the financial aspects pertaining to farm business, which is the core sector of India. The financial aspects includes many matters relating to production of agricultural products and their disposal. When we talk about definitions of agriculture finance, few economists defines in which Murray defined agriculture finance as an economic study of borrowing funds by farmers, the organization and operation of farm lending agencies, and of society's interest in credit for agriculture. Likewise, Tandon and Dhondal defined agriculture finance as a branch of agriculture economics which deals with the financial resources relating to individual farm units. When we talk about nature and scope of agriculture finance can be dealt at both micro level and macro level. Macro finance deals with different sources of raising funds for agriculture as a whole in the economy. It is also concerned with the lending procedures, rules, regulations, monitoring and controlling of different agriculture credit institutions. Hence, macrofinance is related to financing of agriculture at aggregate level. Microfinance refers to financial management of the individual farm business units, and it is concerned with the study as to how the individual farm consider various sources of credit, quantum of credit to be borrowed from each source, and how he allocates the same among the alternative use within the farm. It is also concerned with the future use of funds. Therefore, macrofinance deals with the aspects relating to total credit data of the agriculture sector, the terms and conditions under which the credit is available, and the method of use of total credit for the development of agriculture, while microfinance refers to the financial management of individual farm units. When we talk about significance of agriculture finance assumes vital role and significant importance in agro-socio-economic development of the country, both at macro and micro level. It is playing as catalyst role in strengthening the farm business and augmenting the productivity of scarce resources. When newly developed potential seeds are combined with the purchased inputs like fertilizers and plant protection chemicals in appropriate or requisite proportions will result in higher productivity. Use of new technological inputs purchased from farm finance helps to increase the agricultural productivity. Accretion to in-farm assets and farm supporting infrastructure provided by large-scale financial investment activities results in increased farm income levels, leading to increased standard of living of rural masses. Farm finance can also reduce the regional economic imbalance and is equally good at reducing the inter-farm assets and wealth variations. Farm finance is like a lever with both forward and backward linkage to the economic development and macro level. As Indian agriculture is still traditional and subsistence in nature, agriculture finance is needed to create the supporting infrastructure for adoption of new technology. Massive investment is needed to carry out major and minor irrigation projects, rural electrifications, installation of fertilizer and pesticide plants, execution of agriculture promotional programs and poverty alleviation programs in the country. When we talk about credit needs in agriculture, what does credit means and what is the classification of credit? The word credit comes from the Latin word credo, which means I believe. Hence, credit is based upon belief, confidence, truth, and faith. Credit is otherwise called as loan. Credit is When we define credit, credit is certain amount of money provided for certain purposes on certain conditions with some interest which can be repaid sooner or later. What is the credit needs in agriculture? Agriculture credit is one of the most crucial inputs in all agriculture development programs. For a long time, the major source of agriculture credit was private money lenders. But this source of credit was inadequate, highly expensive, and exploitative. To curtail this, a multi-agency approach consisting of cooperatives, commercial banks, and regional rural banks, credit has been adopted to provide cheaper, timely, and adequate credit to farmers. The financial requirements of the farmers are for buying agricultural inputs like seeds, fertilizer, plant protection chemicals, feed and fodder for cattle, etc., supporting their families in those years when the crops have not been good, buying additional land to make improvements on the existing land to clear old debts and purchase costly agricultural machinery, increasing farm efficiency as against limiting resources, that is hiring of irrigation, water lifting devices, labor and machinery, etc. When we talk about classification of credit, credit is broadly classified based on various criteria on the basis of time. The classification is based on the repayment period of the loan and it is subdivided into three types, that is short-term loans, medium-term loans and long-term loans. When we talk about short-term loans, these loans are to be repaid within a period of 6 to 18 months. All crop loans are said to be short-term loans, but the length of the repayment period varies according to the duration of the crop. The farmers require this type of credit to meet the expenses of the ongoing agricultural operations on the farm like sowing, fertilizer application, plant protection measures, payment of wages to casual laborers, etc. The borrower is supposed to repay the loan from the sale seed of the proceeds of the crop raised. When we talk about medium-term loans, the repayment period in medium-term loans varies from 18 months to 5 years. These loans are required by the farmers for bringing about some improvements on his farm by way of purchasing implements, electric motors, milch animals, sheep and goat, etc. The relatively longer period of repayment of these loans is due to their partially liquidating nature. In long-term loans, these loans fall due for repayment over a long time ranging from 5 years to more than 20 years or even more. These loans together with medium-term loans are called investment loans or term loans. These loans are meant for permanent improvements like leveling and reclamation of land, construction of farm buildings, purchase of tractors, raising of orchards, etc. Since these activities require large capital, a long period is required to repay these loans due to their non-liquidating nature. When we classify credit based on purpose, credit is subdivided into four types, that is production loans. These loans refer to the credit given to the farmers for crop production and are intended to increase the production of crops. They are also called as seasonal agricultural operations loan or short-term loans or crop loans. These loans are repayable in a period ranging from 6 to 18 months in lump sum. Second one, investment loans. These are loans given for purchase of equipments, the productivity of which is distributed over more than 1 year. Loans given for tractors, pump set, tube wells, etc. are under in this category. Third type of loans are marketing loans. These loans are meant to help the farmers in overcoming the distressed sales and to market the produce in a better way. Regulated markets and commercial banks based on the warehouse receipt are lending in the form of marketing loans by advancing 75% of the value of the produce. These loans help the farmers to clear off their debts and dispose the produce at remunerative prices. And fourth type of loan are consumption loans. Any loan advanced for some purpose other than production is broadly categorized on consumption loans. These loans seems to be unproductive but indirectly assist in more productive use of the crop loans, that is, without diverting them to other purpose. Consumption loans are not very widely advanced and restricted to the areas which are hit by natural calamities These loans are extended based on group guarantee basis with a maximum of 3 members. The loan is to be repaid in 5 crop seasons or 2.5 years, whichever is less. And next classification is based on security. The loan transactions between lender and borrower are governed by confidence, and this assumption is confined to private lending to some extent. But the institutional financial agencies do have their own procedural formalities on credit transactions. Therefore, it is essential to classify the loans under this category into 2 subcategories, that is, secured or unsecured loans. Secured loans advanced against some security by the borrower are termed as secured loans. Various forms of security are offered in obtaining the loans, and they are of different types. That is, personal security, collateral security, chattel loans, mortgage, hypothecated loans. In personal security, under this, borrower himself stands as guarantor. Loan is advanced on the farmer's promissory notes. This third party guarantee may or may not be insisted upon. Second, collateral security, hence the property is placed to secure a loan. The movable property of the individual, like LIC bonds, fixed deposit bonds, warehouse receipts, machinery, livestock, etc., are offered as security in collateral security. Third type of chattel loans, here credit is obtained from pawnbrokers by pledging movable properties such as jewelry, utensils made of various metals, etc. Fourth type of loan are mortgage. As against to collateral security, immovable properties are presented for the security purpose, for example, land, farm building, etc. The person who is creating the charge of mortgage is called mortgager, and the person in whose favor it is created, it is known as mortgagee. Mortgages are of 2 types, that is, simple mortgage and equitable mortgage. When we talk about simple mortgage, when the mortgage property is ancestrally inherited property of borrower, then simple mortgage holds good. Here the farmer borrower has to register his property in the name of banking institution as a security for the loan he obtains. The registration charges are to be borne by the borrower. In equitable mortgage, when the mortgage property is self-acquired property of the borrower, then equitable mortgage is applicable. In this, no such registration is required because the ownership rights are clearly specified in the title deeds in the name of farmer borrower. Next type of loans are hypothecated loans. Borrower has ownership rights on his movable, and the banker has legal rights to take a possession of property, to sell on default, a right to sue the owner to bring the property to sale, and for realization of the amount due. The person who creates the charge of hypothecation is called as hypothecator, and the person in whose favor it is created is known as hypothecate, and the property which is donated as hypothecated property. Hypothecated loans are of 2 types, that is, key loans and open loans. Key loans, the agriculture produce of the farmer borrower will be kept under the control of lending institutions, and the loan is advanced to the farmer. This helps the farmer from not resorting to distress sale. When we talk about open loans, here only the physical possession of the purchased machinery rests with the borrower, but the legal ownership remains with the lending institution till the loan is repaid. And second type of loan are unsecured loans. Just on the confidence between the borrower and lender, the loan transactions take place. No security is kept against the loan amount. When we talk about the classification of credit on lender's classification, credit is also classified on the basis of lender, such as institutional loan or non-institutional loans. In institutional loans, institutional agencies like cooperative societies, commercial banks, regional rural banks, corporations, and commercial banks advance this type of loan. Even government advance Takavi loan in emergencies. While we talk about non-institutional loans, here the individual persons will lend the loans given by professional and agricultural money lenders, traders, commission agents, relative friends, etc. come under this category. On the basis of borrower's classification, the credit is also classified on the basis of types of borrower based on the business activity like farmer, dairy farmer, poultry farmer, pisciculture, rural artisans, etc. and based on the size of farm, agricultural laborers, marginal farmers, small farmers, medium farmers and large farmers, and based on location, hill farmers or tribal farmers, we can classify on the basis of borrowers. Based on liquidity, the credit can be classified into types based on liquidity and self-liquidating loans and partially liquidating. In self-liquidating loans, they generate income immediately and are to be paid within 1 year or after the completion of one crop season. For example, crop loans come under this category. Partially liquidating, they will take some time to generate income and can be repaid in 2 to 5 years or more based on the economic activity for which the loan was taken. For example, dairy loan, tractor loan, orchard loan, etc. And in last, we can classify credit based on contact, that is direct loans or indirect loans. Loan extended to farmers directly are called direct loans, for example crop loans. Loans given to the agro-based firms like fertilizer and pesticide industries, warehouse industries which are indirectly beneficial to the farmer are called indirect loans. In this way, we can classify credit in different ways. Thank you.